Has this trial changed your opinion, even caused you to waver or question that at all?
No, it's actually caused me to support him more. I just don't believe there's a coincidence that we have a trial happening in Atlanta. We have one happening in New York. So the question people are beginning to ask themselves, like I did, is like, why now?
I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. I'm gonna support Trump. I mean, it's obvious. But he gave us 4 years of peace and prosperity, a secure border, no new wars, and one of the biggest things that speaks to me as a business owner is the border. I mean, inflation, we have more dollars chasing less goods, and an invasion also is another form of inflation because we have more people that are needing, less products.
Distance. First of all, just tell us how you got to this point. I mean, you were a Democrat at one point, you voted for Barack Obama, and then in 2019, 2020, you started to wake up, and then you said in 2020, you ended up voting for President Trump. So pick it up from there, please, and just tell us what led you to start a conservative podcast and write this inspiring song, and kind of how God played a role in all of it.
Okay. So the song is actually a remake from the Hercules movie in 97, originally performed by Michael Bolton. But we've always had conservative values in the family, and doing the BLM riots is what made us start kind of watching a whole lot of things online, just trying to see what was going on. And we started to notice, discrepancies in the narrative that they were crafting. And we came across a podcast, and we were just kind of listening at the values associated with the Democratic Party. And we was like, this stuff doesn't align with us. It was actually my wife who had came across one and listened at it together. And from that point, we never looked at it. We started voting Republican.
Good for you. Good for you. So we have to ask, because we couldn't help but notice in a portion of that video that you had quoted our very own Stephen K. Bannon, and your podcast starts with
really
war
can say
room.
that my life is truly a testament of the American dream. It's about choices.
All right. Live outside of War Room, Georgia, featuring Small Town Underground. Y'all know we had to come on tonight. And I couldn't do this without my partner in crime, Roy Hambrick, especially after seeing some of these statements and stuff that came out today, man. It was just kind of crazy. It's been a windfall just all together. So what's on your mind, Roy?
Oh, I'm still in a little bit of shock. I came home this, we were talking earlier, seeing Melania Trump come out with that live press conference and talking about how the Epstein victims need to be heard. And I was like, oh, I was completely taken aback. I was like, wow. This is huge. Like, this is coming from Melania. Go. Something has changed. Something is good. And it's finally like, very excited to, okay, the the Strait of Hormuz is open and it's closed, it's open again. And, and all day long Fox News has been like talking about, oh, we got to blame the NATO wasn't here with us and blah, 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 And then I get home after, getting happy fat off a bunch of Mexican food, just having a great time with my family. And lo and behold, Donald Trump starts another war. And this time it is on alternative media. And so still I'm just still kind of shocked by the words happening. And I'm just like, wow, like, really? Really?
I'm shocked too.
Very
man.
Crazy.
I'm shocked too. I think I don't know if I'm more shocked that he actually put that thing out today, or I'm more shocked that Melania Trump came out and was like, hey, I'm calling on Congress to go ahead. We got to do something about this Epstein situation. And remember, in the beginning, we were all called, we're not MAGA, if we wanted the Epstein files looked at.
Sure. And the thing about it is and I think about the timing of this. So, Melania comes out and says this. That was a big shock. It was a big shock. But then Donald Trump comes out with this crazy Truth Social post about Alex Jones and all these people, and like a clear line in the sand, like, if you're on the side of this line, you mean nothing to me. And it turns out that the vast majority of those people actually suffered for the last 10 years of trying to get Donald Trump back into the White House. And I'm like, that's kind of crazy, like, you just, I don't know. It's almost like a total flip flop. We've been talking about it all week. Flip flop.
It has. And I know one of the things I was saying was the Epstein files, people's like, oh, Trump doesn't have time to do it. Oh, just forget about it, blah, blah. You never get this, you never get that. But I really thought that was the litmus test for everything. Look at what happened after that. He ended up blinking on mass deportations, the drawdown, the fraud in Minnesota. And I just thought at that moment, it was like, okay, if we're not going to stand up for kids that were trafficked, molested, and some of them killed, even women too in this, we're not going to stand up for anything. I just thought the country didn't have a solid foundation if it wasn't going to let law, order, and justice be the bedrock of what we stood for in the country. But matter of fact, what separates us from a third world nation at that point? If we're not going to have high level arrests and have accountability. And I really think that the president, he's the head. So if that's the way he's thinking, then just think all the way down to somebody like on the street. If the leadership is serious about law and order, then that kind of helps more people walk a straight line. And I just don't. This is going to have massive implications. And I know the Epstein file situation was because they call us the big Satan or whatever around the world. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, well, we kind of helping make a tea, because we're not going after the things we need to do in our own country.
Still.
Hold on.
Okay.
Go ahead, Roy. You had froze.
No, sorry about that. Yeah, I froze up for just a minute. No, I agree. You're right. Why start this war now on the social media against the podcasters? I don't understand that.
Yeah.
So
I was trying to see if I
me.
could find that tweet. You posted on Small Town Underground?
Yes, and
I'm gonna see if I can pull it up.
What is the number?
Oh, 678. Oh yeah, you guys can call in. It's a full call-in show. 678. I didn't do a good as job as Roy because he always posts a number there. I need to post a number. 678-253-8296. So maybe I need to find like a little sticker tab or something and put it up here. It'd be full call-in show. You guys call in.
Yes.
678-253-8296. We're taking calls, so that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
We want to hear what's on you guys' mind. So if you listen to this, make sure you share the broadcast and then call and let your thoughts be heard. We want to know what's on your mind. Let me repost it on Facebook. Tell people to call in. 678-253-8296. Call in.
Yeah. Hold the phone.
All right.
Gee, I mean,
Let me see.
I don't.
I'm gonna see if I can find. So I'm sure everybody has saw
Okay.
the post that Truth Social that the president put out. So I'm gonna try to pull it up.
Okay.
Let me look on Small Town Underground.
Yeah, let me see. I'm sorry. We're looking for a charger, but I don't have one for a computer. I don't know if my daughter left hers at home or what. But which one? Oh, are we looking for the Truth Social?
Yeah.
That was released. Yeah, I posted it just a little bit ago with the caption. Looks like yet another war taking off. I mean, this is kind of crazy to me. So I don't get it.
Look, let's read through this thing. I mean,
sure,
it's really wild. Let me see if I could pull up a better screen. Okay, I think this one works right here. All right,
there it is.
Yep. So he said, I know why Tucker. Let me make sure I blow this up a little bit. I know why Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones have been fighting me for years, especially by the fact that they think it is wonderful for Iran, the number one state sponsor of terror, to have a nuclear weapon. Now, let's break down each step. Go ahead, Roy.
So I know why Tucker, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones have been fighting me for years. When have any of these people been fighting Donald Trump? I mean, Donald Trump just got reelected in 2024.
A lot of people helped in campaign.
All 2025, they were on his campaign. There was the White House. Everybody kind of subsided through the entire year of 2025. And now, within the last 3 months, people are starting to scratch their head and say, what's going on? They're questioning. This is Stephen.
I know. We look.
Have all been fighting me for years. What? Who's been fighting Donald Trump for years?
Look, and they think that it is wonderful for Iran, the number one sponsor of terror, to have a nuclear weapon. Now, when has each one of them ever said that they think it's wonderful for Iran to have a nuclear weapon?
Nobody thinks it's wonderful for Iran to have a nuclear weapon. Nobody even cares about the nasty Islamic terror regime. Everybody agrees that Iran should not have a nuclear weapon. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because it's just like, this is ludicrous right here. This is ludicrous. Okay.
Yeah, this is literally like the comedy hour. All right, let's go. Because they have one thing in common, Roy. That's low IQs. They're stupid people. They know it. Their families know it. And even everyone else knows it too. I mean, this sounds like a kid. Like, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Like,
it
on
doesn't
the
seem like it's him.
No,
does it?
No, man. This is wild.
No.
They've even been. Let's see. Let me go back. Look at their past. Look at their record. They don't have what it takes, and they never did. Tucker Carlson never had what it takes to be on Fox
Alex
News all
Jones been on since the 90s.
Megyn Kelly, agree or disagree with Candace Owens.
Yeah.
She's never had a voice. Neither is Alex, like you said.
I mean, seriously, look, I never truly forgave Megyn Kelly for the stunt she pulled, and he even I think he references this later on in the tweet, right, back in 2016, because I always thought Megyn Kelly was a grifter. Now it doesn't mean people can't change, right? Because obviously people think now that I've changed, right? Oh, I have changed, but it's like, no, I mean, it's just this. We're in La La Land here with this, and Candace Owens. Look, this is kind of. When's the last time that any of us have had a conversation about Candace Owens? Look, I've watched Candace Owens for a long time. I like Candace Owens. I like the fact that she's digging into these investigations and doing more than the FBI or the DOJ or anybody, right? But I'm not commenting on it because I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. That's Candace's. But you either choose to watch or you choose to don't watch. That's it.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean
freedom of the press. Freedom. Who you watch? I said it, maybe on the last show we did together. Yeah. Everybody should be able to absorb the information and look at everything in the aggregate, see what the crosstabs match up or whatever, and then make your own decision. But we shouldn't be around here becoming part of like the censorship committee. This is crazy.
Yeah, this is crazy.
They don't have what it takes. They've all been thrown off television. They lost their shows and aren't even invited on TV because nobody cares about them. Matter of fact, they're nut jobs and troublemakers and will say anything necessary for some free and cheap publicity.
Nut jobs and troublemakers.
Yep. They nut jobs and troublemakers. Nobody. Okay, Mike Puns, we want him to call in.
Please call in. Tell me, Mike, please give me something to make it make sense.
Yep. So, okay, Michael Proctor said Hillary probably sold the uranium and they ended up with it.
Maybe so.
Hey, it was reported that she was trying to get a bomb. Wanted Russia, I guess, to bomb us. Wasn't that the case that was discovered?
She sold Ukraine uranium, or you remember that? Enriched uranium when she was Secretary of State. So that happened, and guess what? They sold Ukraine enriched uranium, and now we're still in a war with Ukraine and Russia that we don't even recognize anymore. Like nobody, it's like yesterday's, leftovers at the table. It's null and void.
Like nobody cares.
Nobody care about Ukraine and Russia anymore. We didn't give up on that. Remember, we were supposed to. I could get a deal in 24 hours. And I knew that was crazy. I knew it was going to take him some time, but we're already in April the 26th, man. We're in a whole nother war. I mean, come on. What's going on here?
Yep. Well,
now we're in the World War. Well, what would you do this? They see World War III. Well, this is. I don't know. We have to have a good World War for this one. World War fake news. I don't know.
Yep. I don't know either, man. I don't know what to say behind this one, Roy. Well, I mean, this sounds very elementary. How he's responding in here, like people say, like the cool person's table. We just wanted the president to do what he said he was going to do, man.
Sure. Do you think this is on purpose, though? Do you think like the blatancy of this, like I go back to Sunday, and people are posting these memes like, "Oh, you got butt hurt because of what Trump said," and if you want to talk about low IQ, right? Like that's pretty low IQ to not be able to understand the implications, especially if you claim to be a Christian. The implications of that text, right? On Easter morning, right? People are getting out of church. They're going,
I think we got a call, Roy, coming in.
He didn't even say Happy Easter, though.
I think we got a call. Hold on, Roy.
He didn't even say Happy Easter.
War Room, Georgia. Where you calling from?
I'm calling up here in Northwest Georgia.
All right.
What's up? What's on your mind?
It's Roy D. Mercer.
How big a boy are you, sir?
It's Tommy.
Hello, Thomas. How are you, dear sir? Good to hear from you. What is on your mind this evening? Are we crazy? Did the world just flip?
Huh?
I said it seems like the world just flipped again. Flippy floppity.
Oh, yeah. So we got Rubio talking about aliens. We got Melania wanting to bust all the Epstein stuff out. What's going on? What's really going on?
That's a good question. Do you know the answer, Antonio?
I don't know the answer, right? I'm perplexed right now because remember, Marjorie was a traitor. The same, and even if we hadn't made it down because we was reading the president's.
Yes.
He field stripped and whipped the Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace, Alex
Jones,
Marjorie Green. I'm trying to figure this thing out because remember, Marjorie was a traitor when she said she wanted the Epstein files released. It's like he completely flipped and just set her afire. But now his own wife comes out, which I commend Melania. But what do you think is going on? Why you think Melania came out right now and wants the Epstein files, the victims to come to Congress and the names and all this stuff to be read? You think she might be trying to get out ahead of this thing like Bill Gates' wife did?
Go for it, Thomas.
If you look at it, though, women are creatures of empathy. They're creatures of emotion. I gotta love them, but they do get on our nerves sometimes because men are more logical.
Yeah, I agree.
On that note, I think her conscience got her.
Yeah,
could have. Maybe she's got people that she's talking to. Maybe there was some sense and sensibility. I'm not so convinced, and I'm saying this because I want to be clear. I walked in to the other room today. My dad had Fox News pulled up. I had no idea this is going on, and I saw it live. I mean, I just happened to look over the television, and I saw, and there she is. I didn't see any pictures of Trump anywhere. Trump wasn't standing there with her, and then she turned around, said what she had to say, and walked off. And I'm even wondering, did Trump even know that she was going to do this?
Yeah, that's a good question because something like this is very significant. The president was kind of adamant about moving past the Epstein file, so I would be highly surprised.
Yeah. So is his new DOJ.
Oh yeah, Todd Blanche.
Well, here's the biggest question I got. He's torched at least 8 or 9 people because of that same thing. Is he going to torch her?
I don't think he can.
That was my question. I put up a post and reshared here as I said, I guess Melania is not MAGA either now. Because that was his whole thing. Remember, these people that want the Epstein files released, that's a complete and total hoax. They're not MAGA. They're not my supporters.
Yeah.
Well, if they're going to let Lindsey Graham be MAGA, I don't want to be MAGA.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a good meme.
I'm being real.
Where's that meme at? Somebody posted earlier today. I had to agree with. Anyway, it had a picture of like 4 or 5 Never Trumpers from 2016. Like Lindsey Graham and Mark Levin, Ben Shapiro. Never Trumpers, right? Even Never Trumpers when he was getting shot. In the ear. Remember that? Still, remember how many people? How many of the people now that claim to be Trump's best friend, right? All these people that claim to be Trump's best friend, even during that time, were never Trumpers. They wanted him gone. Nikki Haley, the GOPs, and guess what? Now it's like it's completely flip flop. The never Trumpers are now the MAGA poster children.
Yeah.
And
you said at the beginning, it was so much resistance because the base was like really running things, and then the deep state figured, well, we can't get rid of Trump. We shot at him, and this is what you broke down. You're like, what? They got to figure out a way to co-opt him. And I believe when he blinked on the Epstein files, that was a litmus test for a whole lot of other things. And then he blinked on the mass deportations, and he blinked on the Minnesota fraud on some levels. And I know that he's over 4 million people, but the messaging is not being pushed towards that. And then Bundy's doing a great job. This is supposed to be in part Bundy's thing, I believe, to investigate these particular situations. And he was puffing her up. And then I got blown up online. Roy, you saw those posts. Because 2 months in, I was like, oh, Bundy's not it. She just didn't seem like she was confident. She seems like something she was hiding, or there was something sneaky going on. And I was like, no, she ain't it. We ain't gonna get nothing done. And people couldn't believe it. And so here we are.
Scam Bondi.
Yep.
I knew she wasn't it from day one because I remember when she shelved all the Epstein stuff all the way, what was it, 2018 or something?
Sure.
Down in Florida?
Yeah. She was the attorney
district
general
attorney.
or something.
Attorney General, yeah.
Yeah.
She was the attorney general that shelved all that stuff. So I was like, why are they bringing her in when she's already pushed it aside and wouldn't prosecute it then?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, she was the attorney general. I mean, there were court cases going on while she under her tenure. And I'll be honest. I'll give Scam a little bit of grace because I don't think she's smart enough to realize just how the implications of the Epstein list. She probably wasn't even paying attention to this when she was attorney general because most of these people don't.
Yeah.
And I think maybe in the beginning, I'm not saying I believe. You don't know what to believe anymore, right? No matter what article you read or from where, but they say that she was fully prepared to release these files, and then somebody got to her, and after that, it was cold case. And I don't even think she understood. The only thing that makes sense, especially at the very beginning, if you back up and remember, she had all the files on her desk. They literally called in social media influencers to give them this binder. I truly believe that Pam Bondi thought that she was doing a service at that time because how stupid and ridiculous that it is. Because most of these people weren't paying attention, and then they found out real quick, like, oh my God, no, this was a huge disaster, yeah. And so I think in the beginning maybe she was going to do it, and then she got stopped really really quick, and now it's turned into this complete fiasco.
Oh yeah, horrible fiasco. Yeah. Where nothing.
Hey, Donald Trump. I say this, when all this started, well, to me was the day that Donald Trump looked at the reporter and said, "What are you guys still talking about the Epstein list?
Yep.
He's dead. What are you talking about the Epstein list for?" And it's like, wait a dang minute. Like, hold on. We ain't never seen this out of Trump before, like placating that we're a bunch of idiots. That moment is when everything started to unravel. So you take that for what it is. Does that mean that Trump, there's something worse that we haven't seen? Because we went through a lot of these files. Or does it mean that he just literally is trying to protect his rich best friends or whatever?
Well, that's what he told Marjorie. And I ain't saying all of his friends rich, probably a lot of them are, but he told Marjorie, hey, this is going to hurt my friends, per what Marjorie reported.
That's right.
And wanted her to take her name off.
Everybody that helped him campaign on this very subject, because he promised he would release them.
He did.
When he was campaigning.
He did.
Yep. And all of them around him, Alex Jones, Marjorie, Tucker, all of them were on board, head and shoulders on board. What changed? He's the only one that changed.
Yeah, him and his buddies, Leslie Wexner. Wexner. Who's the guy? Who am I thinking of?
Lutnick.
Yeah, Howard Lutnick. completely lied.
Yeah.
And then the pictures come out, and then they just. I mean, my God, this is not conspiracy theory, and then people are gonna get on here and say, "My God, will you stop talking about the Epstein list?" And I'm like, I keep telling them, I'm not equating Trump with the Epstein list. I'm talking about the Epstein list. There's a difference here, but apparently there's not. Just like, oh God, you didn't like the tweet from Trump, then you hate Donald Trump. No, it's not what this is.
I'm starting to believe that Marjorie was right, and she's seen what was in there, and it broke her. It physically broke her mentally.
Maybe so.
My bad.
No, I mean, you could be right.
Yeah.
Women are wired different than men. It is what it is. And she might have seen some things that it messed her up.
Maybe.
But I'm starting to see comparisons on what the deep state actually is.
Oh, it's alive and well, sir. It is alive and well.
It's more of a world deep state than it is just this country.
Oh, yeah. I was saying, I think Netanyahu is dialed in. And yesterday, what was that? Was it yesterday? Yeah. So on my show yesterday, I was trying to
pull the camera back for them and talk about where's the deep state trying to take us. They want to put us on a digital currency and have us in this digital prison, 15-minute cities to where if, the social credit score, if you say something against the government, they'll turn your money off. So, well, how are they going to get there? They have to crash the dollar first. So I had been calling it out, blowing the whistle early, saying, hey, if we do this, it's going to be like war-demic, because I don't think we'll buy into the pandemic again. So they need to crash the dollar. Then we see all the data centers that are everywhere. People fighting the data centers because this is where they're going to house the AI, where we have our digital self, as Roy says all the time. And this is how they're going to control us. So I just really believe that Netanyahu is a globalist operative. And there's a secondary plan. And remember, our leaders, our top elites in this country said they wanted the China model. This is what Charlie Munger talked about before he died, which is Bill Gates' personal lawyer. And China's 10 years ahead of us, like you said, Roy. And this is what they want to implement here. But if I'm them, we've got our head in the mouth of the lion right now. I'm not letting us out of this war. And I believe this is why Netanyahu keeps disobeying Trump. Trump says, hey, don't blow this up, or don't do this, don't do that. And I'm not taking up for Trump, because he believed for whatever he can make a deal with the devil and change these people. And the devil sticks you with the pitchfork eventually, like Alex Jones said. We lose the moment we make the deal with them. Zuckerberg, he gets appointed to like a technology and health board. Well, the same Zuckerberg spent $400 million, helped steal the 2020. Georgia. Yeah, in Georgia, helped steal the 2020 election. Jeff Clark, Kathy Latham, and all the other people, and Trump included, got rolled up in the indictment. Colton Morris gets kicked out of the caucus because he wanted Fannie Willis to have a special session. All these subsequent actions are people that stood up for Trump, and now he's like a totally different person.
Come on now, look, Colton was just a bunch of theatrics from Colton. Okay, he was just playing a part.
Oh wait, Jennifer said we got Trump derangement syndrome.
No, I mean, here's a real valid question. I think it's went over a bunch of people's heads. Who's the true leader here? Netanyahu or Trump?
No, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back. Let's go beyond Netanyahu a little bit, okay? Let's. I want a little bit more of a theory on that. Okay, because we can talk about Netanyahu all day long. And here's the thing: the person that is always the loudest in the room is usually not the one that's even in charge, right? It's always somebody behind the curtain. So I want to preface this. This is something that came to me the other day. So we've gotten rid of the pennies. Now, I don't blame Trump, right? But I find it interesting that at this moment in time, we're doing away with the pennies, right? I've been talking about it for years. And let's just say that that's just one thing that Trump did that he wanted to do. You're doing away with the pennies. So everywhere you go and you pay with cash, a lot of times they've got these papers up now that say, well, we don't have pennies, so we're going to round it. If it's 2 cents, we go down to 0. If it's over 2 cents, we charge you a nickel, right? So I've worked in retail and stuff like that. You gotta balance your registers down to a penny. Now imagine this for a second. Here we are, and we the people have lost a penny of our currency. Okay, not a big deal, right? A penny's a penny, right? You give a penny, take a penny. But if you go over and look at the gas pumps, right? Your gas pump, let's say gas is $3.49. Well, it's actually $3.49.9, right? It's fractional. And you look at the stock market. And the stock market is traded in fractions. You get what I'm saying? They've taken more of our money away. They've taken more of our spending power away, but we pay in fractions of pennies digitally, right? Now think about that for a second. Think about the implications of that. And so when I say back off of Netanyahu, right, because we obviously know he is in control of something far greater than we understand. But this is the huge globalist push for Agenda 2030, and you're Donald Trump, and you're going to tweet this big, long message out and just basically just cut the people at the knees, the ones that fought so hard for you, and they're begging and kicking and screaming for America first, right? We just want our old Trump back. And to me, he's making it blatantly obvious that the old Trump is gone. So Netanyahu, who we know is kind of leading the charge in this, whatever this biblical proportional war is in, this all goes back to the greater deep state, Bilderberg, who's going to be in Washington, D.C., I believe, next week. And the World Economic Forum and the state, just like Antonio's talking about. Think about that, man. If you don't believe that digital currency is on the horizon, they've taken away a penny from you, but you're still paying in fractional currencies in the digital form. If you wrap your mind around that and realize that, they don't even care if we balance our own cash drawers anymore. Remember how we used to make fun of the Democrats about it? They've taken that out of the equation. It only goes down from here, folks.
Yep. I couldn't agree more. They are marching on. And then Trump did the executive order, what, about the data centers?
He sure did. And guess what? We were good little soldiers. I covered it. I put it out there, but I was like, hey, guys, we're in the fight of our life for data centers. And Brian Kemp, my governor, went to the White House and spent Christmas there for a couple of days. And a couple of days after that, Trump released an executive order basically protecting data centers, taking the power away from the communities and giving it to the data centers. I don't know where we're at with that. In fact, I can look it up, but how am I supposed to make sense of that? But I had to be quiet, right? We got to shut up about that and just don't talk about that, or you're going to have to turn in your MAGA card.
Yep.
Well, here's a different outlook of it. We know Germany, they're OCD, just as a people in general. France, they're well known to give up in fights. It is what it is. Japan, they're very disciplined and they're smart. What is America known for?
Just wars.
We love to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, Trump said it the other day.
They need a world war.
Trump said it the other day.
They need to weaken us to the point where we can't fight back.
Mm-hmm.
They certainly are.
Yeah, go ahead, Roy. You was about to say something about what Trump said.
Said it the other day. This is we can pull it up. He was in a I don't know, press conference, and he basically said that, hey guys, the federal government shouldn't worry about child care. That's not our responsibility to worry about the children and child care.
Let me see if I can find a clip. Go ahead, Roy.
What the states need to focus on their own child care, and perhaps they might need to raise taxes to do it, and perhaps the federal government could lower the taxes a bit to help them. But we're the federal government. What we're responsible for is fighting wars. And he said that. He said that just off the cuff, candidly, to a reporter. And of course, I guess we could take it and decipher every word of it and say, well, what he meant was that the Hillary Clinton is at Gitmo Bay right now, and that the Southern Hemisphere is where we go one, we go all, and all the military generals are fixing to, black out the sky and emergency broadcast. You know what I'm saying? That's what he said.
That's idiocy.
That's what he said. He literally off the cuff said, "Hey, we don't need to worry about child care. What we need to worry about is fighting wars."
He did.
I didn't say it.
He did. We can't we can't let the states deal with child care and what is it, Social Security. We're moving into being a war economy. I was trying to find a statement. See, Trump says we are a war.
We did that to Venezuela. We thought that he was doing it because of Dominion.
Yeah,
that's what
we did.
All right, now, hey, honest to God, I thought that as well.
Yes,
I did too.
All right, who buys their oil?
I don't even know at this moment.
Russia
Who does?
and China.
Ah.
Russia and China, because we took the oil ships from Russia with Russian frigates watching us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gave it to Israel.
We did.
Who? Yes. Who buys Iranian oil?
Mostly Japan, China,
yep,
Singapore,
Thailand, Japan, China,
Thailand.
India.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Remember,
Okay.
they came out real quick and said, "Hey guys, we don't even get our oil from over here." That was one of the
No.
excuses that they used.
We don't.
Mm-hmm.
We get very little from Saudi Arabia and Bahrain.
Yeah. So yeah, but then you got Tim Burkett saying, "Hey guys, this stuff, the oil prices aren't going down. What gives? The oil companies are still keeping their rates high. You know, it's been a couple of days
Well,
and the oil prices are still outrageous."
Look,
I thought that was because of the petrodollar, because they wanted it all combined together.
yeah,
Worldwide, the OPEC did.
yeah,
That was back in the 70s. That way they
Right.
could control the price of oil per barrel.
yeah.
If something happened on the other side of the world, they could still control it and it wouldn't kill the economy.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he's trying to do.
Maybe. I mean, what is he trying to do by releasing this statement? What does he think? I mean, I'm sure he doesn't care, right? But what does he think a
Well,
statement
he's-
like this is going to do?
Distraction,
Yeah.
I guess. I don't.
I think maybe Trump is like in and out of, I don't want to say in and out of his mind, but just in and out of the reality that the economy that he fought hard to fix is on the brink of being ruined, and also the dollar. I think he knows at this point that Netanyahu and that government lied to him about the war and everything. And I think he's just kind of crashing out on a lot of people right now and taking it out on his base. Now, I'm not going to give him a pass for changing into some different Trump that we didn't vote for. And I mean, I don't know if he can turn himself around at this point. You know, he may be a bit in
smells
too
of
deep. I don't
frustration.
know.
Well-
it really smells of frustration to me.
Well, and you know what? Let's give him some grace for a second, right? Because you know, I will say this. I've publicly said it. I do not agree with invoking the 25th Amendment on Donald Trump. I know some people are out there calling him dementia. What is it? Dementia Don. All that. You know, look, that's petty. That's kind of like you know, the same difference, right? I don't think that Donald Trump is crazy, and we're to the point like when I look at the 25th Amendment invoking, I look at Joe Biden. Somebody literally doesn't know where they're at, right? So yeah, we don't agree with Trump, but maybe Trump is lashing out, just you know, because he's tired of people saying that, right? And I'm also critically, you know, minded enough to listen to what they have to say and why they're saying it. So maybe this is some sort of direct retaliation, you know, like because that's what Trump likes to do, right? So, but I don't think that we need to invoke the 25th Amendment for crying out loud. But my God, we're coming out with something like this every other day, right? When you're just insulting the very people that have stood stood in front of you, shielded you from everything, trying to get you into this office for a very simple, you know, campaign promises that have not been fulfilled, right? So maybe that's all this is. Maybe this is just another temper tantrum.
I don't know. That temper tantrum on Easter Day kind of
It was bad.
blew my mind.
It did.
I'm sorry.
And
It was bad. And then the people coming out saying, hey, this just, oh, he's rough around the edges. Like, look, just stop it.
Yeah.
I mean, the best thing, you know, and we in sports, I'm a sports guy, so I always have these sports analogies. If you got a guy that's a bit rough around the edges, there is a time to maybe do a foul, or, you know, maybe you jump off sides because you're trying to get everybody hyped up. But there is also a time to work on sportsmanship, because character goes a bit further. You know, I like the fact that Trump's a rough around the edges, but at some point, the base has to try to, you know, tighten a few screws up, I would say, because over time, they're just going to fare out better, because we don't want to take the edge and the grit off of the situation. We need somebody who's rough around the edges that people fear, but we don't want it so bad that it's out of control, Roy.
no,
That's the thing, though.
Yeah.
Antonio, we don't have a timeout. We don't have a secret signal. Like when I used to coach football, I would send a signal out to one of my linemen, act hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I'll substitute you to give us a break.
Yeah. No, I agree.
We
Look,
don't have that here.
Yeah,
Well,
and
think
that's
about
why
this,
we
though.
go ahead, Roy. Go ahead, Roy.
you're talking about locker room banter, right?
Yep.
The way that you talk to your friend over the phone, you're having a conversation, which, and stuff that you might say or throw off each other. But that's also, there's a difference. Rough around the edges is one thing, but the man didn't even come out and say Happy Easter before he said that. Like he didn't even acknowledge like Easter. I know this is trivial to some people, but my God, to think about that went way beyond like any kind of locker room banter or even rough around the edges. Like that was just so blatantly disrespectful to so many people out there that's trying to figure this thing out. But yet, we say there's a time and a place. Well, and then Thomas, you just bring it up again. It's like we're not getting a break. It's a flip and a flop every single 24 hours with him now. It's like, what's going on here? Who's he going to attack next?
What killed me, he was standing right next to the Easter Bunny talking about wiping a civilization off the face of the earth.
In front of children.
Yes.
No,
sorry.
but people going to argue, oh, that's just Trump, let's just let Trump be Trump. Like, wait a minute. No, we have a responsibility. And
Yes.
we have to get this thing tightened up. And the looser that guy is when the game is on the line, and I know you know this, Coach, I'm a football guy, couple championships, in college. But as soon as you need that guy to do the right thing, guess what he does, Coach? He jumps off sides. He fouls the guy at the wrong time. And quite frankly, a lot of times when the game is on the line.
Right.
Yeah.
Fakes a cramp or something.
Not to change the subject either, but I sent you 3 screenshots of just an AI quick upload of the data centers.
Okay.
The executive order 14318.
Which email, Roy? The War Room email or you just Gmail?
I just sent it to Messenger.
Oh, Messenger.
Accelerating federal permitting of data center infrastructure on July 23rd, 2025, which there was another one in December that he came out with. The order aims to speed up the construction of AI data centers and supporting infrastructure.
Is it on your page, Roy? Because I can't. I'm in my in the War Room account on Facebook, so I can't get that inbox unless you send it to the show inbox.
Okay.
If you can do an email or text it to the War Room text line, if you want to text it, that'll be good. And I can just put it up.
But just to and I'm gonna update that and find out what he actually did in December. So.
All right. So, yep, guys, if you're just tuning in, we're just trying to figure out what's going on, what happened to the old Trump. I'm speaking for myself. Hey, I support the old Trump, but this new Trump is kind of like, when they went from, the cars, the fender and everything used to be metal. This is like the plastic version. I can't do the plastic version of Trump. We need the real deal. We need that heavy duty. We don't want the grit to be taken off of things, but we want to make sure that the front end is aligned and, everything works. And it's a good engine in the situation. And right now we're sputtering and things don't look that good. Because I'm thinking about what actually was delivered now. So we did shut the border down, but it's like we locked a whole bunch of people inside of the country, but are we going to do mass deportations? That was called down. And I think the straw that broke the camel's back was when he blinked on the Epstein files and, came out and gave his base backlashes, the people that fought for him. I mean, I didn't have to go to jail and, lose my business and be like, people like Alex and people that went to jail after 2020 election and J6ers and all of that. But there are some strained relationships, family-wise. But that's fine. I'm cool with that. I'm a conservative. I'm a Christian. Maybe those relationships still would have went down that road. But a lot of people have, had bad interactions in their family, in supporting the president. I don't have any regrets, and I know a lot of other people don't. But these are sacrifices that were made because I've had conversations, and I had one yesterday, and people are saying, well, all the things Trump went through, it's kind of like he deserves to act like this. Well, guess what? We went through things too.
We didn't run up to New York and beg the president to run. You know, there was something that he felt like a burden was on his heart, and he did it. So I would encourage everybody to come out of the fan section, take off the pom-poms, and come on the sideline and pick up a coach's whistle. Because guess what? When that coach gets after you, he's just trying to get out the best out of the person that we put on the field. We put Trump on the field, and we want Trump to do the right thing. We want him to run the play like we got the coach on the line right now. And we get the opportunity to audible. You know, he has a little bit of latitude as well. But this thing is off, Roy.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've been saying that for a while, you know, and I'm not ready to throw in the towel. I don't need to throw in the towel. I'm the spectator here, watching this play out day by day. But putting out these messages like this, alienating so many people. And if you think about this, because we're here talking about it, and we're also, because we don't comply, right? We're not the cheerleaders and the bootlickers. We don't comply with everything. We question everything, right? We automatically get the blame for what's going on. Like, you gotta stand in the way the Democrats are gonna do. You know, they're true. It's true, right? But with the uniparty, it never changes. So think about this for a second. We just got off of a special election here in District 14. The Republican won. And we're moving into a primary that's going to be what? You know, highly contested. We got the Slick Rick Jackson and Burt Jones battling it out. And Donald Trump releases a tweet or whatever, you know, the True Social, like of this magnitude that's going to set the internet ablaze. Here we are doing an emergency broadcast, right? So who is it to ultimately blame, right? We always talk about, like, oh, we chastise people like, you know, the GOP chair Josh McCoon for not bringing people together, right? And he didn't, and he still hasn't. And so the GOP is in shambles, right? But it's, you know, they got to point the finger at the boogeyman. I'm the bad guy, you know, I'm Scarface. But again, Trump puts this out tonight. We know the internet is ablaze right now. Everybody's posting their, like, do you think this helps the cause any? Do you think that this brings more people into the fold? Or do you think that this alienates more people and offends more people and makes them want to just, like, turn it off and turn a blind, you know what I'm saying? Just turn away from it.
Yeah.
Whose fault is that?
Right. I asked the coach that's on the line right now. So, Coach, you got your team. You know, y'all been meeting and practicing all week. You know what plays you going to run. The team expect a certain kind of play order when they get on the field. Then all of a sudden you get to the game, and then you call a play that ain't even in the playbook. You know, the team's looking at you crazy. What's going to happen? You're going to have mass confusion. You're probably going to end up losing, and you might have a couple guys quit on you.
Yeah, so but I'm also seeing the quarterback on the field cuss out his whole offensive line and tell him to get off the field. He can do it by himself.
He's cussing at the players that ain't even in the game.
Yeah.
He went over and started cussing out the band.
Honestly, Alex Jones, Tucker, all of them stood for him. Took the lances for him.
They did.
Well, still are.
He basically cussed them out and kicked them over onto the bench. That he do it by himself. So,
Coach, you got the quarterback looking at the sideline cussing you out. You got people, the fans that's coming down in the coach's box cussing you out for fussing at the quarterback, trying to get the best out of him. And that's where we get the sycophants type people, and Trump can do no wrong and all of that. I'm like, man, come on, man. Yeah, we got to grow up. You know, this is serious business right now. We support the president, but we also have a duty and an obligation to make sure when he's going out of bounds that we let him know, hey, this ain't what you ran on. And I think that's what the battle is. This Trump is battling himself right now.
He is. He is. He shook.
Yeah. So
I mean, that's an old term we used to, and we always tried to let a quarterback play through it, pull him over to the sideline, grab him by the face, and hey, you got help.
So let's
snap out of it.
So we appreciate the call. We want to get Mike Pons to call back in because he he tried to call, and we was on with you, and he graciously have been patient. But we appreciate you calling in and hanging out with us tonight.
Oh, no problem.
All right.
Yeah, and so while we're waiting, I want to
Mike Pons call the show.
Okay.
No, go ahead, Roy.
Call the show, Mike. So what I was referring to on the data centers were signed in July of 2025. This was in another executive order, December 11th, 2025. It's called, on December 11th, it signed executive order titled Ensuring a National Policy Framework for Artificial Intelligence. So this is, where was the number at? Anyway, there's another number for this. In practice, this meant the order sought to limit excessive state rules on AI overall, but preserve states' ability to regulate data center specific issues like local permitting, environmental impacts, energy use, body water, and beyond standard permitting streamlining. So, again,
go ahead, Roy.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Where does this all lead?
Yep. All right, so we got Mike Pons. He has some opposing comments down here. So what's up, Mike? Glad you called in.
Hey, how you guys doing? I start off with that, right? Say hello to everybody. Hey, I just want to push back on just about everything that you guys have talked about. And one of the things I look at Tucker, and I look at everybody that's on all the shows that you talk about, is lately they haven't been having anybody on their shows that they push back against, right? And so here's my opportunity to give you guys a little bit of pushback. But let me ask you this. Let me make this first statement. Are we fighting good or evil right now?
Ooh, I think it's a lot of evil right now.
Evil?
A whole lot of evil.
Yeah, a whole lot of evil.
But Trump's evil. Are you saying Trump is evil? That's the question. No.
I'm not saying Trump.
I don't think Trump is evil. I think Trump might be fighting some demons, but he's not evil.
Did evil try to get him removed as president in his first term through the Russia collusion hoax? They tried to assassinate the man. They tried to bankrupt the man. Why is that was, would you think that's all evil? They tried to say he was an insurrectionist and put him in jail for that, and they put Bannon and his one of his chief advisors in jail. People don't want to go work for him because they're going to be ostracized. They won't be able to get a job in a law firm. The assassination, of course, the bankruptcies that they try to do. Why did they try to do that? Now, all of a sudden, we have all these people turn on him. Now, I did not want to go into Iran, but in hindsight, I actually like what he's doing because there's a huge domino effect that's going on. I mean, the first step before we got there was Venezuela. Cuba's going to be next after we get done with Iran. The question is that is a big monumental task. Now we got these Iranians who want to close the Strait of Hormuz, and what are they going to do with that money that they get when they shake people out? They want to get your ship through here. You're going to give us $1 million, and besides, you're going to have to pay us in Chinese yuan. Okay, so you pay it in yuan. Now we get to dethrone the dollar. I mean, can you guys see what the heck's going on around here?
Let me ask you a question,
We've only been
Mike.
fighting the Iranians for 47 years. They just killed 4,500 of their own people because they protested, and the athletes were returning home. They hung them. I mean, come on.
Hang on. I got a question for you.
Really? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Mike.
I love it. Go ahead.
Roy.
Go for it.
So the Strait of Hormuz, were they charging ships to go through the Strait of Hormuz before we intervened this time in Iran, or is this something new?
Oh, this is totally new. No question about it.
So in other words, my point is that this is an effect of a cause because of what happened. Before we went and attacked Iran, because we had to go in and attack Iran due to the fact that another country was going to attack them, and it would have hurt America worse, which I agree with, by the way. But this was never happening before, so this is an effect from this particular 39 days where we went in. So I just want to make that clear. That was not happening before this. So
Yeah, and let me add to that point. And the other part of this too, Mike, was the president was warned by a lot of quite a few military personnel of the effects of the strait getting shut down in this situation and the massive implications.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That's a no-brainer.
You also said
who is America's biggest enemy?
The deep state,
Biggest
the globalists.
Yeah, the
World Economic Forum.
Okay, aside from the deep state, our biggest enemy is ourselves. That's always been humankind. It's all of us, right? Outside of that, who is America's biggest threat?
I would say any foreign entity that is currently running our government.
Okay,
and,
let me roll this back a little bit. 100 years ago, England, Great Britain ruled the seas. They had the currency. Everything was based on the sterling dollar, or the sterling. And after World War II, that they were no longer the world's largest naval power. They did not rule the seas anymore. And the reason for that, they can't even bring a ship into the battle, into the Strait of Hormuz or the Persian Gulf, the Arabian Sea, whatever you want to call it. And the reason why they can't do that is because they joined NATO. All their money that would go to the Navy now goes to NATO. The next, America still rules the seas. Who rules the seas rules commerce worldwide. Who is the second largest navy that could replace America?
Probably China.
It is China.
Mm-hmm.
It is China. Is China getting their oil?
Yes, China's getting their oil.
Where are they going to get their oil from? Russia?
They've been getting it from Iran.
China and Japan and France, they all three made deals while all this was going on, and it came out today. It was a huge article today in Sky News that
by who? By who? Propaganda. Go ahead.
Well, maybe, I don't know. I mean, they were explaining how while all this was going on and the Strait of Hormuz was shut down, France and Japan and China had all made deals with Iran to allow their transports of oil to go through. And from what they're reporting, anyway, what do we know? What's real and fake? But I mean, what were they reporting on? They had already made deals and they were getting oil from the Strait of Hormuz.
So then that would mean that the price of oil which I trade would go down, and I'm only watching it, it's sitting at right this very moment at $98.73.
Right.
So that would have made the price of oil drop. I don't think that's going to happen.
Right. So, I mean, I don't know how true it is.
Yeah. Right. Well, first of all, Iranian oil is sanctioned anyway.
Right, and we don't get oil from Iran, so.
Well, we get about 8% through the Persian Gulf, believe it or not.
Yes. Yeah, we get a very small percentage.
I've got the data to back that up.
So why is our oil so high?
Our oil, because there's demand for oil worldwide. It's the markets are manipulated. So the markets tend to overreact, and things go when you trade. Let's say I wanted to buy. Why are all the oil companies going up at once, right? I mean, it's the same thing.
Yes.
So
it's a corporatocracy.
Our oil is, there's about maybe a 10% premium right now. I don't know the exact on Brent oil right now. That oil is actually higher than our oil by about 10% at the moment. Usually it's about 3 or 4% higher because of all of the various factors that are involved. But, I'm not worried about the price of oil. I'm fortunate enough not to have to worry about it because I don't have to drive a lot. I don't have a big pickup truck to go back and forth to work with. But what is the price of freedom?
Yeah, but oil affects.
That's what you got to ask.
Oil affects so many other things too, though, Mike. It touches pretty much every industry. Our food is packaged in it. Clothes, anything you think of has got plastic in it.
Yeah.
So when
I'm fully aware of all the distillates and all the sulfur and the natural gas and all of that stuff that were byproducts of all of that.
Right.
Yes, but that's going to be a temporary scenario.
Right.
How long do you think this is going to last for?
I hope it's over.
Well,
I don't think it's going to be over for. I'm calling,
No.
and I'm speaking out of my pie hole here. I think it's going to be done sometime about May, right before
We
Memorial
certainly
Day.
hope so. The sooner the better. I mean, the ceasefire was apparently broken in Lebanon, and we're lucky that the Strait of Hormuz is open today. So I feel like that Trump is trying to get us out of there.
Yeah, I watched it. I'm going to send you a link. I even posted on my Facebook page where you can actually watch the ships transiting the Strait of Hormuz. I did not look at it today. I was going to do that before I went on Facebook today, and I saw the show, and I'm going. Yeah, I think a lot of people got it wrong. Have you ever known Trump to play second fiddle to anybody?
That's what makes this so interesting to me. No, I haven't.
Yeah. No, but he's not playing.
So do you? But let me ask you a question.
Did he get duped into this situation? Probably.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, it's pretty much admitted now, right?
Rubio admitted it as well.
Well, there was several people. Even Trump admitted that in a press conference the other day. That basically they were given the wrong intel and wrong information.
Yeah, and it's
like we've
that's been confirmed now. It's being reported.
Right,
There's articles and stuff on it.
Yeah, so he got duped into it.
Mm-hmm.
Basically,
we're in it now.
Yeah, we're in it.
We got to finish this thing.
Well, what does finish look like? Because I think a lot of us were really, really excited about the fact that Trump got this ceasefire for 2 weeks and, this ultimatum, and everybody was super happy. I was happy today. I felt sort of blissful. I'm like, man, this is great. And then we're just here reacting to this crazy Truth Social war that he just started. But I think I was really optimistic. I was like, finally, Trump said, enough's enough, So you tell me.
Have you ever known the Iranians to honor an agreement? Or even Israelis?
Well, look, you can look at the flip side of that coin. What happened when the president asked Netanyahu and them not to bomb certain things?
I agree.
This is what I think right here, Mike. What's the end goal? What's the end game for what the deep state globalists want? They want to put us on a digital currency, right? What do they have to do in the process to actually make that come to fruition? They have to crash the dollar.
We're not victims. We're volunteers. You're using a credit card. I don't even use cash anymore. Who uses cash?
But what I'm saying is
I do every day.
Yeah, I use it every now and again. We won't be able to leverage the dollar, is what I mean. I know it's different ways that we can spend the money, but they want to get rid of the dollar completely. It's not a coincidence that they were asking that the toll be paid in yuan. Okay, so if I'm them, let's war game it. If this be the deep state right now, let's be the globalists. If I've got America in my mouth right now, we got our head in the mouth of the deep state right now. I'm not letting you out of this war. If I'm the globalist, when our betters, which is the establishment elite in our country, have already said they want the China model, well, guess what? Even if it's Iran saying that they're going to continue to engage in this war or whatever, they can crash us by just simply continuing to attack. I'm not letting you out of this if I'm trying to crash the dollar. If I'm trying to move you over, I'm trying to have the BRICS. Remember the BRICS and all of that? That's what this war is about. And I believe that this is war-demic, and I can't sit here tonight and believe. Remember the 2 weeks to the spread is gone and all of that nonsense they told us, and this thing drug on for years and years while they got most of the stuff that they wanted, get all these jabs out, kill up a bunch of people, put a bunch of people out of work, change the way that we move, got people still working from home right now, right here today. So this is part 2 of that. This is what the deep state is thinking. And they'll do a false flag. They'll do anything to keep. This will be just like turn the temperature up, turn it down, turn it up. It'll be something else tomorrow. It'll be something else next week. But they're going to try to keep us locked into this war as long as they can until they can crash the dollar. Now, I sent you an article earlier, Roy. I think I posted it. Maybe I'll put it on the screen about how there's some irreparable damage that has been done to the dollar as a result of this war. And that's the goal.
Let me ask you guys a question.
This question. Okay. If you take a look at the dollar, if you look at the chart of the dollar, since the war started, the dollar gained 10%. Why is that?
I haven't seen that. I hadn't
seen that either.
I'd love to see that.
Well, I look at the dollar every day, and I evaluate what the dollar is going to do, and then I evaluate what I'm going to do next with my trades. That and the volatility index. Those are the two things those are my green, yellow, and red lights of what I'm going to do for that day.
Let me ask you this question, though.
You've seen silver. Silver shot up to almost $120 an ounce, and came all the way back down. I think 74 today. So I mean, you can't just go by that. And data centers, you're not going to stop them. My problem with the data centers is they're taking away valuable farmland. I mean, how can you feed yourself without farms?
Yeah,
you've answered your own question, though. Exactly. The data centers aren't going to go anywhere, but you're taking away valuable farmland. You're taking away water. You're taking away electricity. Where does that leave the human being, the average human being, in that scenario? So, in other words, you don't have to answer the question, but
we got to figure out how do we handle. You can't stop it.
There's a simple way. There's a simple way to handle that, Mike. All we got to do is kill off a vast amount of all we have to do is kill off a huge amount of the population, get it down to about 1 billion people, and then whoever's left, you figure out what kind of slave class they're going to be in, and then the upper echelon, they rule the machines. That's the way that you live.
That sounds hyperbolic.
But they had a Georgia Guidestone that was put up and blown up a few years ago.
Hey, the World
said that was exactly the plan.
So, Mike, do you believe the stuff that the World Economic Forum is saying? They said build back better. Look around. Everywhere you go, you see red dirt, cranes, and all this stuff.
You can't stop it. So you got to come up with a solution.
Well, I'd say we're on borrowed time.
You guys are looking at the end that you're helpless.
Well, no, I'm fighting data centers every day. I mean, I think you can. There is 2 articles today that where residents stopped data centers from going in. We stopped a biowaste facility, a Vanguard biowaste facility, from going into Murray County just from a gym full of people showing up and say heck to the no. And they'd already paid over $20 million for that land. And guess what? They finally pulled out and said, we're going somewhere else. So I believe that you can fight these data centers.
They have to go somewhere else. There's no question about it. It's going to cost us a lot of money in energy costs. Somebody's got to pay for it because they can't build the energy to support these data centers fast enough.
Right. You know how many data centers?
It is a dilemma, but I'm just saying you can't stop it.
Do you know how many data centers are being built right now in Georgia at this present moment?
I don't know the exact number, but I know that I have friends that are in the industry and they can't freaking get supplies fast enough. They can't get workers
51.
fast enough.
There's 51 data centers currently right now being built all over the place, and there's more fights in every single county in the rural counties because they have to have the resources. So at some point...
Besides outer space and the moon, where are you going to build these data centers?
Why do you need the data centers?
What's
the need for the data centers?
Because, if you're not going forward, you're moving backwards.
But what is forward, Mike?
The data centers are here. Other countries, first of all, if China has a data center and you think you're a slave to the deep state, you're not looking. It's not looking half good for the future.
Agreed.
China, if we're not involved in it, it is a top.
I agree.
Do you know that it was AI that saved that pilot, that backseater that was punched out over Iran?
It could be AI.
It was AI that got him out of there.
AI is not inherently bad. Yep. I don't believe that AI is inherently bad.
We're not saying we don't need any data centers,
right?
Mike, so, but do we need them at the cost of human life? Because remember the question you said, your concern was earlier was water and something to eat. So do you it's like with these eugenicists.
What are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
You can't stop it. What I'm telling you is you got to face the reality. You're not going to stop it. You got to figure out a plan to make it work homogeneously for all of us.
Well,
that's what you have to do. I don't have the answer to that. Because I tell you what, I'm 70 years old and I'm doing whatever I can for the future. And this is going to happen in about 15 years. You think I'll be 85 by the time that happens. And I'm hoping that I'm around to be a part of a system that will work.
Well, Mike,
I just don't have the answer.
I don't think it's about stopping a data center from coming in. It's about limit. It's about the limit.
Sure.
It's about balance. Do we allow so many data centers to come into an area to where we ain't got no water to drink? I think that is the concern for people. And I think people should and they will stand up and fight against that, because anything that's not balanced eventually falls. So
let me add to that.
Go ahead, Mike.
We got 159 counties in Georgia. Why would the governor say, you know what, we're going to participate in this, so we're going to put one data center in every county, and we're going to work with the local authorities, and then we're going to have our strategically placed data centers, and every county gets one data center, and we all participate? Why couldn't we do something like that, right? Why are we building 51 data centers, but 5 of them are going into this county, and 16 of them are going into this county, and 38 of them are going here, and so we've been left out of that conversation, right? We're not saying that we can't build data centers, and this is the biggest misconception. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have data centers. I'm saying, number one, what is the data center's prime? What is its prime function? And then why can't we have a balance?
Well, I'll tell you exactly what their prime function is: to get as much information out of you and me as possible.
It's to put you in digital prison.
They're sucking all the data that they can.
But Mike, if they get all the information they need on Mike Pons, then why do they need a physical Mike Pons walking around?
Yeah.
Why would they need you?
We can just die off and let them have digital selves.
Your digital
I
Mike
started
Pons.
the conversation with what is good and what is evil, right?
Right. And again, and I love this conversation. And going back to Iran, or the fact I would hope that, Mike, that you don't think that we're not against Donald Trump. I am questioning our priorities here. I do believe that what is the price of freedom? The price of freedom is protecting your borders, your language, and your culture. And the problem that I have with what's going on right now is that we elected a president that had a platform that spoke to every single American, every single God-fearing, red-blooded citizen of this nation, that we were going to restore America back to a greater country. And other than shutting down the border, which was a blessing, we've done anything but that. We've proven that it's easier to go to war over a strait that we don't even get oil from, based on the fact that there's this boogeyman that's been 2 weeks away from blowing us away for God knows how long. And you turn back over here, and what are we doing on our own soil? People come every single day. I read, we've got an Islam problem. We've got an Islam problem. We've got an Islam problem in Georgia and in New York, in Texas, right? But we are over threatening to blow up an entire country of people and make more terrorists that think that we're Satan, and make more terrorists that want to destroy us generationally for the next 150 years, while we're doing nothing about the Islam problems on our soil. I have to have it make sense to me. That's all.
Well,
if questioning this makes me have to get off the bus, I'd have no choice. But we can't sit back and just pretend like that we accept this and everything's hunky-dory. That's all.
Well, what you just said describes is parallel to the issue that we have with data centers right now. And this is the biggest thing with the president, and why you see a lot of online division, Mike, is the guy we put in the game. No, you're right. We probably can't stop it, because we can't get the guy we put in the game to get started on more of the agenda that was set forth. So who's supposed to be the head wags the tail? That's what I believe. So if the president's doing all these special privileges or whatever for executive orders, I'm not against data centers. I'm a computer guy, got all this stuff set up in here we needed to stream with or whatever. I'm not opposed to having the AI. Okay. That's as much as I'm opposed to riding a horse to work every day rather than driving my truck. So I'm just saying the reality of this is, do we need so many to where there's not a balance? There's no conversations coming out of the head of this. situation.
Well, worse than that, what Mike said, these things, they can't even get the supply. They can't even supply these systems. They can't get what they need because they're so backed up because they're building. Nobody's stopping. Nobody's putting the pause on. We had some legislators in the state that tried to say, hey, we need to fix taxes. That didn't happen. We just showed 2 different executive orders protecting them. We know that China is 10 years ahead, which we have about 10 times the data centers that China has. We are the number 1 country in the entire world. We have over 4,000 data centers in this nation. And we know that the Chinese communist regime would gladly mow their people down because we learned from history about Mao Zedong, the Cultural Revolution. We know that their people mean nothing to them. There's civil, obedient people living in a digital prison because all of these things, these flock cameras and these digital scores are already in effect. They would murder their entire, civilization for the technology. And my fear is that if we do keep going on, then what is to stop America from becoming a sister of China? And, oh, my God, guess what? We've already got Mike Pons and Roy Hambrick downloaded into this sentient AI. Well, what about the real ones? Well, they got to eat, they got to crap, they got to pee, they got to sleep, they got to work. Well, that's just too much work. We need to get rid of them. I mean, where is the end game with all this?
You don't have to pay health insurance.
Don't have to pay health insurance. Don't have to worry about procreating.
Yeah.
And your digital self can live on forever and ever.
Isn't it very beautiful what you just said? And I mean that in an honest and sincere way, because this is what we're doing. As I started my presentation, if you want to call it that, good versus evil. And so when you look at a place like Mao Zedong in China, what were their moral guiding principles? What are their values? Where do they get them from? And where did anybody get them from? And I think if you really wanted to get down to it, this nation was built and founded on Christianity.
Exactly.
And, our politicians have certainly lost their way. John Adams said, I'm going to paraphrase here, that this Constitution only works for a moral Christian-type country. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
And that's where we are. That's the essence of it. And so you want to fix the problems, you look, if you go to a school and you say, is it more Marxist, this school, or is it more Christian, this school? Mm-hmm. And I think you got to come away from saying most of these teachers that are in these schools, this is where it starts, the brainwashing, are coming from a Marxist type of scenario with these teachers unions, especially in California. They're the largest power in the state, is the teachers union. So that's where we are. It's a spiritual war that we're fighting. And my point is that when I said, do you think Trump is evil or is he good? I really believe, and I think that everything he does, we need to question and give him feedback on. And I 100% support what you guys are saying. I'm just bringing a different perspective. Saying, I don't have the playbook. Just like yourself, I don't know what victory looks like because they never explained it to us. So, but I think what I try to do is I try to see downrange and see where the dominoes have fallen and where they may continue to fall. And anytime you go into war, there's always unexpected consequences. Right. So, because you don't know what their playbook is either. So, what I like Hank says, well, the reason why they keep on launching missiles is because the carrier pigeons can't go get that fast to let them know it's a ceasefire, which is pretty much what we've done to them.
Go ahead. About this time last year, we were talking about one of the campaign promises, right, which was dismantle the Department of Education. Exactly what you brought up, the Marxist Department of Education that was started around 1979 and has been failing us ever since. We spent the last, decade and a half with the worst DEI ever imaginable, teachers unions, you name it, right? And so one of the campaign promises was we were going to dismantle the Department of Education and we were going to fix the education system, right? And we believe in Trump and we believe that Trump's got a plan. But we have yet to dismantle the Department of Education. And instead of, so let's say we would gladly give $200 billion to an education fund to dismantle it and then restructure the education where it focuses on reading, writing, arithmetic for our children, which are the future of America, right? But instead, we're here in April 2026, and we're taking $200 billion because we got intertwined in a conundrum because of another foreign nation. Well, I would much rather be using $200 billion to restructure education and get it right on our soil. Yet here we are. That's my problem. It has nothing to do with Iran and how horrible the regime is. Of course, we don't want that horrible regime. But we're not focusing on anything that's pro-America right now.
Yep. That's what the America First thing was.
Look at how many pins, bowling pins that Trump is trying to juggle right now at the same time. So he has a little different set of priorities with his number one. Okay, so I'm with you. I think he got sucked into this war. I'm with you on that one. But let me go back to the education thing for a moment. Vladimir Lenin said, "Give me your children for 4 years, and I will sow the seeds that will never be undone or dug up."
Exactly.
Exactly. They will root. They will spread. And I saw that. I went to school first grade in 1961 when Kennedy became president. And that's when all the changes were starting to happen. They were trying to rid the communists out. With Joe McCarthy, was trying to rid these communists out of the system. And boy, did they go after him, and they attacked him. And that's when it all started. You look at a lot of these teachers from these universities; they're all from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. That's part of the problem. How do we get rid of that? And when I ran, one of the things I wanted to do is dismantle the education system from D.C. because the problem is it's so centralized, and we don't need a centralized government in the education system. And if you go back into 1970, the last church that was a schoolhouse was the same. You think about it. You go back in the 1700s, the 1800s, or 1900s, up to about 1950, the church was also the schoolhouse. What does that tell you? They try to get Christianity out of the schools.
Right. Do you see? Exactly. Wonder what changed. So again, it's not nobody here. No, nobody here is against Trump at all. We're all scratching our heads trying to figure out what is really going on here. A message like that. Do you think, Mike, Donald Trump knows exactly what he's doing? And here we are in the middle of an election cycle, right? And every day we're being told that the Democrats are going to take over a house. They're going to do exactly what they did the first term. They're going to stalemate Trump where he can't do anything, right? Because obviously the Republicans haven't done anything, right? We can't even get our own damn Republicans.
Well, there you go. There's your answer.
Save Act. But listen,
he's got 2 years to clean up the mess.
No.
There's your answer.
He's got about 6 months.
I don't know if that's a fact.
He's got about 6 months. But let me tell you, after all that we've been through, putting out a Truth Social like that on Easter, not even saying Happy Easter, but putting out a tweet like this tonight that is going to send the internet completely on fire, and attacking some of the biggest names in media, and basically calling them just piles of crap. Now, this is our president of the United States doing this. Now, do you think that
I didn't see the piles of crap part.
No. I didn't say basically. No. I'm just talking about, basically demeaning them to nothing, right? Yeah, but is that divisive, or is that bringing people together? Part of the responsibility of a president is to bring people together in the middle of the storms. What kind of?
No, this is not a kumbaya moment. This is a leadership moment. This is where you're either with us or you're not.
Now, see, I disagree with that.
There's no support for Trump. Now, they can be critical of him, question him, but now that we're in it, they should be all in. I look at them as traitors, to be quite honest with you, the way they've been talking. I forget who Tucker had on, but he had some freaking lunatic on there, and it was just like, okay. I forget who the guy's name, because I don't pay attention to these wing nuts, but he had one of them on there, and there was no pushback. Nothing.
I understand that.
This guy's a freaking moron that he's got on there.
But let me ask, how can a conversation, though, how can a conversation lead to you're either in or you're out? When do we get to a point where we're having a conversation and we may not agree, But if we come out of
Right.
that conversation and we don't necessarily agree, it's not like Tucker Carlson. I'm not even defending the man. You're right. Maybe there was no pushback, but Tucker Carlson didn't come out with a tweet 15 minutes after a discussion and say, "Hey, screw you, you idiot. And guess what? I'm coming to the White House and I'm taking over." When did a discussion become worse than, a bullet? We have to have discussions.
When did if you ever backstab Trump or cross Trump? Were you still his friend? That's how
I don't know,
Trump
but
operates.
Well,
If you're going to
what is
operate the
Trump?
Trump system, this is what
What
you
is
get.
Trump? What is Donald Trump? Is
Yeah.
Donald Trump a messiah? Is he more than a man? Is he somebody that I mean, obviously he's a president of the United States. He deserves respect. I drove in a motorcade for him. I'd do it gladly tomorrow. But
Yes.
again, we're talking about man versus man. There's no man in this world, including myself, above criticism. Should he be
Right.
completely shielded from asking these questions to the point where if you do ask a question, you automatically get put on the bad list? Do you know that that's the exact same thing that happened in the GOP convention and the
is.
GOPs? Oh my God. Do you realize that people were threatening people during the GOP convention that if you vote against this person, you are no longer a part of this party. You are no longer a part of this group. We hate you. We put you on an enemies list. And I battled those storms. I battled those storms and held my head up high with dignity while people called me an enemy. You see, and now we're acting the exact same way because we're questioning somebody as if we're total enemies now. This is ridiculous to me. I can't.
Well, I don't view you or Tucker. I love Tucker, actually. I watch his show frequently. And I love Megan and I love Alex and Candace. Candace has been a little bit on from what I hear. I don't follow her. She's been on a little bit of a different road lately. But you know what I care about? I care about results. The Epstein files, well, maybe throw them in the same can as the JFK files. I don't know. I want to still see the JFK files. Maybe there'll be a movie that actually spits out the truth about
That's
Epstein.
another campaign promise.
Right? I just don't. What's the priority? I think the priority. I know we want these things for us in here. We don't want Islamic Sharia law in here. We know that needs to be your priority. We need to be able to feed and clothe ourselves. We need to be able to have freedom of speech. But I don't see what Trump sees. Trump is an unusual character, and the Bible is full of unusual characters that did things that for humanity that turned out to be good.
Well, Mike, let me ask you this question: What is our responsibility, and why? What makes us support a person?
Well, I think you're doing it. I think the questions are good. They're valid. We need to hold Trump's feet to the fire. I am not debating that one bit. But when Marjorie Taylor Greene goes off the deep end, I think she's lost it. Why are you quitting at the most important time and leaving a seat vulnerable for a Democrat to snatch it away?
There's
a lot of
truth
people
to that.
did the same thing. What went on with his investigation about January 6th? It is out like a campfire doused with water. There might be some embers there, but I don't think they're going to catch fire with anything now. So you guys are doing it, man. I think that
the party system's broken.
Have conversations like the ones we have right now.
But Mike, I would like to take it a step further. It's like Donald Trump's the head. Once you assume to much whom is given, much is required. So I understand, like with Marjorie leaving, I think she should have stayed but I lived out her responsibility. But however, have you ever been in a position to where somebody's kind of been hard to work for or with? I think this is a leadership issue, and a lot is being exposed right now. And we have an opportunity, meaning the base, is to come together based on the facts and truth. We must divest ourselves of investing direct support in the person. It needs to be tied to why we support the person. That's why we had a constitution. That's why in the Bible, when the Israelites decided they wanted a king, that created a whole lot of problems because God knew that they would end up investing more into the person than his word. And that's what we're dealing with right now. We don't even have legislators that follow the Constitution. But this all boils down to doing what you said, which is your written word. It's supposed to be bond, right? So when we say something, oh, well, I supported Trump because mass deportations, he did work on the economy, doing some great things. It looks like that's going to get undermined by the war, which is a whole nother conversation. And mass deportations is a big part of fixing the economy. Look at our taxes going up. Look how much it costs to put a kid through school through the public education system. We're paying for thousands. There's 200 or something thousand illegal aliens in Gwinnett County. This was back in 2023. It's making the job market hard for people. So when we back up and capitulate on these things, now the president has to come out and do all these and say why we should vote for him because we're going to lose the majority. No, the campaign should be, this is what I've done. And this is the problem I have with... Go ahead.
To use your example of Gwinnett County and all the other counties in the United States, how many times did Trump have to go to court to fight all of these people? I mean, the legal warfare continues. So, I mean, how many times has this man been in court, and yet he still has to do all of these other things? I think,
well,
I think that, and I think it's fine to go and be critical of the man.
Well,
but,
Mike,
this is your example. I'm saying. I want the old Trump back.
The mass deportations.
We just don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know. First of all, if you look at his team,
Mike,
he's the only president ever to have an open televised with reporters cabinet meeting, with each one given a statement. I mean, he's the most transparent politician you've ever seen in the history of mankind.
All of that is great, but when the president sends out a signal and a message that the whole cabinet and everybody surrounding the White House needs to calm down their rhetoric on mass deportations, that's a problem. And then we capitulate and draw down ICE out in Minnesota. Doge is out the door. Elon Musk out the door. These are decisive decisions that were made by the president. I know the president can't do everything.
That happens with every presidency.
Well,
I do agree,
but this is Trump's not every president. Remember, Trump is the guy for the moment.
Thank God.
What I'm saying is he's the guy for the moment that we know can get it done. That's like having a quarterback that you know what their performance can be, and you know when they kind of BSing you two at the same time. And it's like, no, you got more than this in you, Trump. Now, come on. You turned around and told us to shut up because we wanted the Epstein files. What was that?
And then a year from now, that quarterback will be sacked if the Democrats get the House.
And see, that's politician speak right there. When the message should be, this is what I've done. This is what I fought for. But when you use your but when the president uses his platform to type this, I don't know how many word field stripping and whipping of these people that actually helped him get elected, that campaigned for him, that's piss poor. And if we're not willing to call that out amongst each other, we have a problem. We're not even united on what's right.
When has Trump's rhetoric ever been nice?
You're making excuses now. We speaking to character right now.
I'm just telling you the facts. That's a fact.
Well, let me bring something up.
I'm just giving you a question back. I'm never going to make an excuse for Trump because Trump can defend himself.
Exactly. I don't care what he's been and who he is and all of that. Our job is to get the best out of him and to tell him even when he's wrong. One of his main problems right now is he's got too many yes men around him. It's been leaking out that even Susie Wiles is saying, hey, guys, make sure you tell the president the truth. You can't have greatness if you surround yourself by yes men. It's not going to happen.
Supposedly, he has blockers that won't allow access to the president as well.
You bring up a point. And I'll make this point because you said it. Donald Trump, we spent years trying to support Donald Trump through all of these court cases, all the 4 years under the vegetable, the child sniffer. Okay, but we remember the first 4 years of presidency, Donald Trump only really got to be president for 2 years. Why? Because Event 201. Because they shut the entire world down because of Donald Trump. They shut the entire world down with COVID. And they didn't shut COVID down until we went right back to the war games, right? Russia and Ukraine. But in actuality, Donald Trump only got to be president for a couple years, and then he had to deal with the whole time his hands were tied behind his back. Hands were always. I remember everybody say, man, they got Donald Trump's hands tied behind his back. He can't do nothing, right? All of a sudden, we go through 4 years of them try. What were they trying to do? The goal was to get rid of Trump. They wanted to put Trump in prison. They wanted to get rid of him. They never wanted to see the man up in the White House. And then here we are in the White House again. And what's happening again? Now, we agreed. Yep, they kind of duped Trump on this. They did this. Who is suffering through every bit of what's going on right now? It's America First. Anything that has to do with America First in the original campaign, they have the man's hand tied again. You understand? So we're going through an entire presidency that is redoing itself. Trump's hands are tied behind his back. He's compromised. He may not be completely in charge of the foreign, whatever. But we're seeing it play out again. And who continues to suffer? It's we the people. It's America. Anything that's America First, anything that strengthens this nation, this Constitution, this soil, is being completely overlooked, completely ignored, and here we are again in another forever war. So we're playing the same game again, and guess what? Time is running out because in a few more months there's going to be an election that's going to make it or break it, man. And we've got nothing to show for it. We've got a closed down border, and odds are that when the Democrats take back over, they're going to march right down there and they're going to open that border back because we've ignored everything to do with America.
So here's where I agree with you 100%. I don't know if you hear. Can you get me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's where I'm not hearing you. We're here. Trump's going to need a magic trick come November, and so this is why I'm saying this needs to be done by June. I'm thinking May. I think that the Iranians have been devastated. That they really don't have many options. And when you don't have options, you don't have freedom. So Trump has the upper hand. Now, I think the pause is more of a chance for Trump to kind of calm things down in this country because he sees what's going on, the attacks that he's getting right now. And if he gets his resounding victory and brings us up a stronger nation, because he's trying to rebuild our country as a manufacturing base as well, because that's where a lot of construction is going, and that's the price of copper. Your penny is worth 10 cents where it used to be worth maybe 2 cents because the price of copper has just gone nuts. He's going to have to pull a rabbit out of the hat, and that's where it is right now. That's where we are, and so that's why I say we got to win this thing because this might be the last thing we get to win.
I agree with you, Mike, and that's all I'm saying about this. I'm still right here. I don't even have to be against Trump. This is not about if you're for or against, and I'm not drawing lines. What I'm saying is I was high as a kite today, giddy. And Antonio will probably tell you this. After this whole truce game, and I told him earlier today on the phone before I ever saw this thing, man, I've just been kind of in bliss today. I hadn't really been paying attention to it. I'm just glad there was no crazy, bombing of the country, and I'm happy that Donald Trump has got this ceasefire going, and regardless of what Israel did in Lebanon when they bombed Beirut, there's the Strait of Hormuz is open. I was giddy today when I saw Melania Trump come on the airways and say the victims of the Epstein files need to be heard. I was giddy. I'm right there with him. I'm happy. This is my president, still my president. But I get home and I see a message like this come across the airways, and it's just like Sunday morning. It just kills the momentum, and I have to sit here and go, why? Why would you put something like that out? Because now, for the next 24, 48, 72 hours, the internet is going to be on fire, and everybody is ripping at each other's throats, right? And why? Why would he do this right now?
Yeah.
We're back to
that's a great
square
question.
one over a stupid Truth Social where you're going out and attacking the very people. Some of these people went to prison for this guy, and we were all great a couple hours ago. Everybody was happy. And yes, the Trump has the power. He's the president. He's the one that sets the tone, right? What kind of tone are you setting here?
Yep. Then if you say something about it, that same crowd attacks you and say,
I'm
"Hey,
sure
you ain't MAGA.
I've lost
You
some
don't
subscribers.
You don't support the president and all of that." No, it's okay to say, "Hey, you know what? That probably."
Well, then we
wasn't the
make
best thing to do."
excuses for him. Well, we locker room banner. No. At some point, you got to
No,
take some
that wasn't not
responsibility.
locker room. You're right. No, I will say that this is a test of emotions, and that's why
Sure.
I say we have to think clearly and logically. I think I made a statement on one of Antonio's posts that it's if we don't think down the road and we just use our emotions, then we become fanatical. And if we become fanatics, we can't come to agreement on anything.
Right.
So
And that Truth Social was a bit
pause on the
fanatical.
emotions.
I think that Truth Social is a bit fanatical. That's why I'm speaking out. And if Donald Trump, Lord help us if he ever sees this, Donald, you're being a bit fanatical. You need to slow down, because every time that we turn around and we're happy and excited, and I'm like, yes, something good is
I think
working
it was
out.
emotional too, and I think the
You
head
drop
said,
a bomb.
But if you thought clearly about the ceasefire, the ceasefire is totally meaningless. It doesn't mean anything. They come out with their 10 points, we come out with our 15 points. And I can tell you what, I bet you there wasn't one that either side agreed on. It's just
Probably
a pause. I'm lucky, and so I trade. And so I'm just hitting the pause button right now. And I'm going, maybe 3-4 days before we start going back at it again.
Well, I mean,
probably.
as you
'Cause
know,
they're not going to let anybody out of that Strait of Hormuz. I'm going to go, when we're done, I'm going to go look and see the activity that's going on right now, because it's probably about 6 o'clock in the morning there.
"Yeah,
And
they ain't gonna let
I want
nobody
to tell
out."
you, the elephant in the room too. Lebanon is being blitzed right now by Israel. So there's an ongoing war in Lebanon where they're killing terrorists, but they bombed the town of Beirut, which is a seaside town that has nothing to do with southern Lebanon. And their prime minister, I saw it myself come out today in a news thing that basically said they were going to expand their borders into Lebanon. So now they're moving forward into another country's territory and taking space. So regardless of what happens in Iran and the Strait of Hormuz, right, we don't get much oil from them. We sort of are part to cause from now this extortion on the oil. All of these things are direct, effects from our cause. But we still have to deal with Lebanon being taken over now. So no, you're right. The war is going to rage on in the Middle East because there's a greater plan here to take over land and control, right? When we should be rereading The Art of the Deal, right? Because we've been 2 weeks away from annihilation from Iran. I ain't never been scared of Iran in my life. I'm wondering why we're here and why we're not dismantling the Department of Education. That's my question. Why are we over there?
Well,
I mean, we supposedly
first of
killed.
all, I'm not a fan of Netanyahu. I think atrocities is Hamas or Hezbollah, which are sponsored by Iran. And Iran has killed many of Americans.
And we also, America sponsors them
during
too.
Obama's term, they took hostage some of our sailors.
They did.
So, yeah. So
It
I mean,
was, just released
they're a problem.
Sure, it was just released.
I don't know, like you say, for the last 20 years, that Netanyahu is saying they're 2 weeks away from getting a bomb.
Right. And I'll have to point out in Congress recently, it was just recently shown in Congress, in our own Congress, that America supports Hezbollah. We've been sending money over to Hezbollah, Al Qaeda, the Taliban, hundreds and hundreds of $1 millions through USAID, right? So
are
American
you
money from our government. No, I'm not surprised, but that's what I'm saying. Like, why are we sending money and funding these terrorist groups that we're turning around and telling ourselves that they're going to blow us up? Why are we doing this?
And Netanyahu sent $35 million to Hamas.
Well, who is the boogeyman then? Who is the real boogeyman here?
Well, let's take a boogeyman, Operation Ajax.
There you go. Our own government. And just because Trump's up there, and I believe in Trump, but I believe the deep state is alive and well.
And the deep state it's CENTCOM that we've been hearing a lot about. It's the Federal Reserve. It's the intelligence community, the CIA. We're partners with Mossad, and we're partners with MI6, Britain's agency. Yeah. So, and then the Federal Reserve. Did I mention them?
You did.
None of this can happen without the help of the Federal Reserve.
Mm-hmm. And they just got done building a $3 billion building.
They did
next to the White House, and of course, what was it a few weeks ago? We were really dealing with the Federal Reserve. Because you know what?
Yep.
When Joe Biden was in office, the Federal Reserve was bending over backwards and forwards and to take away a fraction, do whatever they could to stabilize the economy. But Donald Trump gets in office, and the Federal Reserve just puts their hands back and says, "Whoa, I can't do nothing to help you." You understand?
Well,
you tell me.
Well, thank you. You're making my case.
Exactly.
You're making my case.
Why are we not dismantled the Federal Reserve? I would much rather dismantle the Federal Reserve than I would be playing over in the Straits of Hormuz. That's it.
Well, that's in the process. We get a new Fed chairman, I think next month, if not this month.
Well, that's great. We get a new Fed chairman, and the Federal Reserve still lives. Department of Education still goes. USAID. You can still get your wonderful daycare centers up in Minnesota. I mean, what? When are we gonna? When's anything gonna happen?
Well,
can't deport anymore. Our Republicans are working on a mass amnesty bill right now, right?
Yep.
So, tell me.
Here's an interesting fact: the Defense Authorization Act in 2024, when I was running for Congress, they put in a stipulation in there that the president could not back out of NATO. Where's NATO today for us?
Sure. Yeah.
Right. I mean, and I brought that up in one of the debates. We don't need NATO. Loudermilk says, "Yeah, we need NATO." Now Trump's going, "Well, we don't need NATO." I mean, so some of us can see what's going on. You guys see what's going on with the data centers. I don't know that there's 51 or data centers going up, and I don't know how they're going to be put together. And you see these battery plants that take up about a mile and a half of acreage going up, and then they're not going to be happening much longer because the lithium, these EVs are not going to be the way to go.
Right. Well, look, if Donald Trump is wanting people to get behind him, right? Regardless, right? Why again, we're here because of the tweet, the whatever. I keep calling it a tweet. True. So now, what's it going to be tomorrow night? Who did he leave out of that he's going to attack tomorrow night and call them batch crazy and you're horrible people and basically get out of here? Like, that's not helping anything. When we're trying to look, because I ask people all the time online, I said, just name one win, America First win that we've got since Donald Trump's been in office. Obviously, we got the border closed. It's a huge win. It was a huge win to have the border protection. And people say the big beautiful bill. That's fine. It adds over $2 trillion worth of debt. It is a big beautiful bill. But again, where are the wins here? Because everything that we've started has either fallen flat or completely gone. And again, we're able to go to war in other countries, which with the whole platform was, hey, no more forever wars. And again, where's the win? I thought Melania Trump had a win tonight, right? I thought Donald Trump had a win because we all know that Donald Trump was, kind of strong-armed into this, right? Because we were strong-armed into it last year. We all stood beside Trump, and Trump annihilated the uranium, right? They annihilated there.
Bunker busters.
Here we are again. In much deeper conundrum over here in a place.
Well, that's where we got sucked in right there.
Exactly, but what's it going to be tomorrow? Because tonight I was happy, and then I see this freaking Truth Social post. It's just like saying, "Hey, screw all of you guys, screw you," and it's like, dude, you're not helping.
Would you be surprised if Alex Jones and Tucker and Megan they all kiss and make up?
I hope so. Wow, that's
Yeah.
I would love for them to sit down in a room together and figure this out. And that's what I'm afraid. I'm afraid that the last thing that anybody around Donald Trump, wants to do, the ones behind the curtains, they don't want these people to kiss and make up because they don't want them in the room talking about the things that matter the most.
Yeah, which is the agenda he ran on.
That may happen. I don't know if it's going to happen, but forgiving people
that I don't like, if they're nice to me, I can't help it. It just comes over me. If they're nice to me, I just love them, even if they're the worst people in the world. I mean, he said that in a press conference the other day. Maybe he was kidding around, but he said it.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe there's something to that. Maybe you're right. Maybe if you're Klaus Schwab and you're like, oh, we're not going to get rid of Trump, somebody go get a box of chocolates and a bag of chips and take it to Trump and tell him how good his hair looks, and then we will have data centers. You see my point?
Yep.
If that's all it takes for Trump and he's actually saying it, man, we got problems here because they're not listening to the right people. They're listening to the people that are ass kissing him. Excuse my French.
So I always, Trump, he is part of being the negotiator. He's got it's like, what is it in it for me? And I think when he thinks what's in it in for me, he's thinking what is it in it for America? What is it in for us? What overall? How does that help our country?
Yes. And if we can answer that question with Iran, I'd like to know.
What's that?
I said if we can answer that question concerning Iran at this present moment, I would love to know the answer to that.
It's all about oil, just like it was in Venezuela.
Maybe
it's all about the oil.
So how do we win? How do we come out of this thing and win, Mike? Because they got control over whether people can flow through there or not. And what does this look like over the next 2 weeks? How do we get out of this situation? Because the way the straits are set up, they could it's been described to me as a shooting gallery. They got these really tall mountains or whatever, and they could just it'd be like shooting fish in a bowl if America tried to come through there and take over the strait. Because at the end of the day, they could just sit there and just shoot us up. We'll be losing soldier after soldier after soldier, from what I hear.
Well, at this point, I don't think we've softened up the target enough for it, in the sense that what they capable of doing is with handheld missiles, little launchers, whatever I don't know what they're called, but that's the hard part, right? And now, so the only way, I guess, is if I explained earlier, I forgot what the terminology was, how they found that soldier was through what they called ghost murmur, where from 40 miles away, you can detect a heartbeat. Now, if they can employ that technology and get a signature of somebody's heart that they've already gotten, I mean, this is where the CIA comes in and Mossad comes in. They have people inside Iran. Who they are, I have no idea. How many they have, I don't know. I would imagine that's how they've been operating. Because, look, they killed every one of those leaders just about. There are not that many left. So how did they do that? How did they be able to pinpoint and target them? And I would just wonder if it is a ghost murmur technology that they use that Lockheed Martin had. And I just discovered this a couple of days ago. If they can employ that technology, we don't know. This could just be the initial phase or phase 2 of 5 phases or 10 phases. Who knows? I don't know. I don't have the playbook.
You think
we have to get them to the point where they're going to say, okay, we can run our government. We won't shoot another missile. And if you shoot another missile, I know where you live. Oh, Trump's done that before. I know where you live. I got a picture of your house. You like it? It's nice. That's a nice house.
I think the way the mountains set up.
Night about 7:00, right?
Yeah, the way those mountains are set up, Mike, that go ain't gonna work this time.
Well, and I know we've got to go.
I think the mountains that you're talking about, I have to look at another geographical, topographical map. I think they're in the northern part of Iran. I don't think they're along the Gulf, the Strait, rather.
I think I'm gonna have to go here in just a few minutes because I got to go to bed. But I think bottom line is this: and I really appreciate you being on, Mike, and anybody else, and Thomas. But the bottom line is, I think the main goal here is to we want Trump to be successful. We want America to be successful, right? We are looking out for the best interests of our country. All right. Now, in the past, every single war has been fought over oil, right? It's always a commodity, and we always have the ability to judge past presidents. George Bush, Barack Obama, all these idiots of the past, right? But every war we've been in has been a 2-week away type scheme, and we end up fighting over oil. When in reality, we're not. The bottom line is we want Trump to be the best presidency ever, right? But we also want America to be the best place it can be. And right now we're running out of time because everything we've done up to this point has not been in America's best interest. Maybe on a global scale or for the military industrial complex, I'm sure that they're loving it. But again, this is not what we voted for. And to say to Trump, like, okay, dude, I'm still here watching you and rooting for you to be a good president, but all I got is your resume. You gave me your resume for this presidency, and then you said this is what we're going to do. And I looked at the resume and I said, this is the guy that I want to get behind. And we're doing none of that resume. We might have started, right? We might have started sweeping up around the corners.
Did we kick China out of Venezuela?
Who knows at this point? We don't know anything about what's going on in Venezuela.
We got 100,000 Chinese nationals in America. We ain't even kicked them out of America.
Yeah,
you're talking about the mass deportation.
Yeah.
So Venezuela, you're right about that. But who in the heck knows what's going on in Venezuela? All we know is we went down there. We got Maduro. Maduro is sitting in a jail cell somewhere with his wife, and every other day, after that happened, what did we hear? Hey, Maduro is flipping. 2020 Russia hoax. It's all going to be exposed, and we're going to see arrests, right? We don't have a clue what's going on in Venezuela right now. We don't have a clue what's really going on in Russia and Ukraine right now. Nobody, but a very few of us, has a clue that Israel is expanding its country into Lebanon as we speak, and Beirut was bombed into oblivion the day before yesterday. So what do we know, right?
But what I do know is find out what Trump says about Lebanon and Israeli expanding into there, because I'm sure that wasn't part of the deal.
I don't think it was, but I know this, Mike. It's April the 9th. We've got a primary coming up in May. We've got a general election coming up in November. We got more Democrats that have come into the most conservative areas of the state and voted in way closer margins. And I'm looking around, scratching my head, going, geez, man, is what we're doing right now like really helping America? Because we're the reason why that they're charging you in the Strait of Hormuz. That's all I'm asking. It's like, okay, we've done these things, so why? And this is, again, before the tweet, my friend, before the tweet. I was so happy today because it's like, okay, finally, Trump can take a break from this crap and get back over here and say, hey, guys, this is what we're going to do. This is where we go tomorrow. But instead, we just ripped an entire group of people down tonight over nothing but a bunch of stupid words, and now the internet's on fire again. So unneeded. That's all. I want to get back. I want to be successful. You're not going to be successful, especially in a time like this, by going and ripping everybody to shreds over nothing.
When it comes to Trump, you have to have selective hearing.
I guess so. I guess he's the only person in the world that deserves it.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was going to wipe out a whole civilization. Really?
Didn't even say Happy Easter.
We got to be the bigger person, and this isn't leadership. You know what?
Yes,
this is an indictment on us about some stuff about Trump, and I'm not saying Trump is bad.
No, Lord, no.
But
Trump ain't bad. He's just got a couple of demons around him right now. He needs to get rid of them. He needs to spray some demon spray. He needs to kick Paula White to the curb. You know.
He need to learn how to admit when he's wrong or whatever too, and not get out here and man. But we can't police each other, Mike. What I'm saying, the other problem I see in the movement is we keep defending Trump against people in the movement who may want to call him out for doing something. No, let that person say, hey, that was a bad play. You know?
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. We need to have these discussions, but we need to keep our emotions in check. And it's when you can see part of the playbook or see part of what's going downstream, you can see what the whole hemisphere, the whole world rather. And I watch him daily, and I watch almost every one of his conferences, and so it helps me to look downfield and try to get an idea what his vision is, because part of his success is he keeps his cards close to his vest. You don't know if he's holding 4 aces or a couple of jokers. You don't know, and that's how he operates.
Hey,
so we just need to pray for him, pray for us, pray for America.
Pray, because I'm right there with you. He had 4 aces today, and then he pulled out a joker tonight. he had 4 aces. Everybody was happy today. And then Melania Trump, she pulled out the Queen of Hearts a couple of hours ago, and then Donald Trump answered with a damn joker.
She did. She slapped
we just called it like it is.
That wasn't the deck I was dealing, but I'll take it.
Well, look, Mike.
Hey, somebody need to reshuffle that deck. Okay.
Well, look, Mike, we're gonna wrap this up, man. We appreciate you calling in.
I think this is a good note, man. I love
Mike
you, brothers,
Pons.
man. You guys
I love
are awesome.
you.
And thank you for allowing me to have some pushback.
Man, you're great.
Yep.
You know,
we all need it, man.
Forward.
We're not gonna put a Truth Social out about you when we hang up the phone. Don't worry about it.
Mike Pons, that filthy Mike Pons has come and challenged me, Mike. I will obliterate Mike Pons. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mike Trader Pons.
Yeah.
I learned something from this conversation. You know, that's what it's about. You teach
Mike
me too.
Trader Pons. Oh, that's funny. Jesus.
Look,
Mike, I love you.
All right, we're gonna talk to you, Mike.
I love you guys. I love you, Antonio, and I love Roy. You guys are doing the Lord's work, and it's appreciated by me. In Jesus' name,
Thanks.
I pray for these 2 young men that they live happy, healthy lives, and they have wisdom to give to all of us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen, brother.
All right, amen, brother. All right, Mike. Look, Roy, it's been a blast.
Yeah, it has. Look, folks, like I said, this is more of the conversation. You know, I don't think anybody was planning this tonight. Yes, I don't care what you say. If you get buttered over a tweet. No. This is low IQ stuff. If you can't handle it, I would like for you to just unsubscribe from me, unfollow me. Just don't waste your time on me. Don't waste your time on War Room. It's not worth it.
Nope.
I'm not being paid. I don't get money from APAC. I don't get money from nowhere except for you. Give, send, go. And I don't care if you ever donate a dime. But I'm not bought and paid for. Neither is he. And if you don't like the conversation, don't waste your time on it. Okay, that's it.
All right,
but
so I guess that's the last word. So let me get a couple shout outs. Sherry Miller, what's up, Sherry? Carol Streeter,
what's up, Sherry? Yes.
Richard Schroeder. Who else we got? A couple other people. Obscure Rival, what's happening? Said when anybody asks Trump a legitimate question in order to better inform the American people, he attacks them. He only wants a quote positive views of him and his endeavors. Well, he does seem to be a bit thin-skinned. Lisa Adams, what's up, Lisa? Thomas White, Thomas called in, hung out with us. We appreciate it. Mike Pun, shout out to you again. And Jennifer White, what's up? Michael Proctor. Hey man, it's been great tonight. I guess we got to do this more often, as often as we can.
Let's continue to hold Trump and our administration in our prayers. We need to pray for peace always. We need to pray, right? We need to pray for each other. Pray that no matter what, God's discernment is over all of us and Donald Trump, right? We all want him to be successful, but we've got to continue to pray because this is a spiritual war. We all know this, and boy, is the spirits really showing out.
The devil is busy, as my grandma was saying.
Yes,
and he doesn't take a day off. And
amen.
I think my wife says this all the time. The devil will give you anything that you want. He just won't let you enjoy it.
That's right.
He will not let you enjoy it.
I sure have enjoyed tonight. So.
Oh yeah, I have. Make sure you guys follow Small Town Underground if you're not already. Make sure you continue to support his content. Support War Room Georgia. Donate whenever you can. If you don't have anything, that's fine too. Just hit the share button here and on Small Town. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye, guys.
All right, Roy. Let's see.